Hello and welcome back to the SPINOUS SPECIAL! The greatest show ever, where I talk about whatever it is that I want to talk about, and yeah, and then you listen and then we just have a good time. It's all about having a good time on kind of a low editing and low everything basically. Just me and you, just chilling out and doing whatever, talking about what we want to talk about. I got a lot of stuff to talk about because we haven't done one of these in so long. But it's back, it's bigger, it's better than ever, so let's get going right into the action. End of March, all the way to now, all kinds of stuff to talk about. So, no more introduction, let's just hop right into it. So, as you probably know, because you probably saw the video on it, that it was him, Batman vs Superman came out, and I really liked it. I thought it was a really entertaining movie, I thought it was really well made, and really well, not to say well made. When I say well made, I mean cinematically well made. Of course, there are a lot of problems with the story and a lot of things with, different elements that really, I think, there was a lot of cinematic elements that made it really, really impressive to me. I found a lot of what it did I thought it was very smart, I thought it was very clever. And, of course, that's overlooking the couple blatant problems that it has. For example, a lot of the plot doesn't make sense, it kind of jumps all over the place. But, hey, what are you gonna do? I really liked it, though. I thought it was a good movie, and I definitely would watch it again. It was really entertaining. I think what it comes down to with movies is that it's up to what you find entertaining. So, and really it's just when you go into a movie, you want to be entertained. So my kind of vision is that if a movie entertains me thoroughly, like Batman vs Superman did, then yeah, I really like it. And of all the movies that I've seen in the past year, I didn't enjoy any of them as much as I enjoyed Batman vs Superman. You can hate me all you want for saying that. I'm not saying that it's a good movie, it's just that I enjoyed that way more than the past 5 movies that I had seen. Which doesn't really help because one of those movies that I had seen last was the 4th Alvin and the Chipmunks movie, but we won't talk about that because I don't know if anyone ever wants to hear about that. Although I do have a lot to say about it, but that's beyond the point. Other movie stuff that happened. I did not see it, but the Divergent series, Allegiant movie, the second one in the the third one, actually. That says a lot about my point that I'm going to make here. I did not like the second movie. The second movie was really bad. I didn't enjoy it. There was nothing enjoyable and it seemed pointless. It's just them and they're like, oh, well, okay, now we're living in peace. Oh no, and now we have to leave our peace because they found us. Okay, now let's go back to the city. Okay, let's meet up with our friends. Oh, random action sequence. Okay, now it's time to end the movie. And that's all that happens in the second Divergent movie. And then they end it off on the biggest... I hate twists like that. I hate twists... Basically, it takes the same twist from the Maze Runner series at the end of the first Maze Runner. It takes that same twist, but it feels unoriginal and it feels uninspired. And it's not fun. It's not fun to watch, it's not fun to see, and I just didn't care for it in general. So, of course, I didn't see the third Divergent series movie, Allegiant, but I do know that it did not get good reviews, and apparently it was just as bad as the second one. So, maybe I need to see that sometime and then sigh because it's awful. But I'm sure there's people who enjoyed it. I'm sure. It's very much how Batman vs Superman is my cup of tea, whereas it's not a lot for everybody else. There's probably a lot of people that think the Divergent series movies are okay, which is fine by me. I haven't read the books of the Divergent series, so I wouldn't really know if the movies do a good job representing them. I just know that I just did not enjoy the second movie. The first movie was alright. The first Divergent movie was okay, this is kind of a unique principle, and I wonder where it's going to go with the second one. The second one does not follow up on that same enjoyability, and I think it suffers because of that. So, yeah. Basically, I always love watching movies, and maybe I should put that one on my list to get through it, and maybe just see if I do hate it as much as I hate the second one. But maybe that's a thing for another day, and maybe in the future another video. Another thing, well, the next thing I'm going to talk about really, it's kind of already here, visibly. That's right, it's about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Remember I did like a review of like maybe 1 or 2 episodes of the show? Yeah, those were good times. Maybe I should do those again. Yeah, I'm the worst, okay? I'm trying. Now that I've kind of back in a good state of being able to do these, gonna hopefully put stuff out every single week, back to doing every couple days at least, and everything could be grand. If you see me fiddling with stuff, because I'm terrible at fiddling with stuff, I got this little cover from my microphone here, and I just kind of poofed it off, and I just kind of fiddle around with stuff. It's a really bad habit, but I'm too lazy to not fiddle with things, so it's something that I need to get over with. And you know what, little fuzzy cover guard? Now it's just in the middle of my notes. Bwomp, 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 bwomp. What was I even talking about? That's right, it was the Ninja Turtles. So, what was I going to talk about the Ninja Turtles? Well, I haven't really been watching it that much, the newest cartoon. And they ended the whole space thing. So I should probably go through and get through the whole space thing and then be like, yeah. But I did watch one episode because it was very easy to watch because it didn't really need any of that other stuff. They just found themselves there. Which, what I'm referring to is they did another crossover with the 1987 show. And by that I mean another crossover. I mean the Turtles Forever crossover that the 2003 Ninja Turtles cartoon did. Which, they're really the same story. Just, they're both done a little bit differently in that in this crossover, it was Krang that was kind of behind the whole thing, and it was Krang that was the villain, and it was multiple Krangs, right? But, whereas in Turtles Forever, it was old Shredder and the 2003 Shredder, which, by comparison, the 2003 Shredder is this terrifying beast, alien warlord, and he just has tremendous power, and he's tremendously scary and smart, and they did so much with that in Turtles Forever, and there was a lot I really liked about Turtles Forever. But the thing is that, you know, due to unions and all that, they couldn't get the original voice cast from the 1987 show in Turtles Forever, which they were able to do in this new crossover. So I like it in that regard. The new crossover it's very good. It feels very much like, okay, look, the best of these two shows kind of combined. But in terms of a story, I like the story that the Turtles Forever TV movie, I guess you could call it. It's basically what it is. It's also pretty much the finale to the 2003 show. Because it established, hey look, there's a multiverse of all the different turtles, and I believe that's what this one did kind of too. It was like, okay, look, different universes, different timelines, whatever. But Ninja Turtles, exciting stuff. I like Turtles Forever more, but then again, I've seen Turtles Forever a couple times, and I only watched the new crossover once, so maybe I'll have some more to talk about that, and maybe I'll even make like a review of it if I get back into reviewing Ninja Turtles stuff, so yeah. Oh, man, it feels good to just ramble on for 9 minutes. Haven't done this in a while. It's been pretty nice. Alright, next thing I have on my list of stuff to talk about is Nintendo. So, if you know anything about Nintendo or you follow anything about them, you know that they've kind of been making some weird decisions lately. That, you know, they haven't been doing everything that everyone thinks that they should do, and they're really, a lot of the time now they're emphasizing like hey, look at us, we're making our own decisions, and we are doing this and that and this and that and then. And it's just kind of weird in that way, because they've revealed that the next console, the Nintendo NX, no one knows if that's the confirmed name still, if that's the code name. I'm assuming it's the code name, but it could be the name. Who knows? But it was revealed that they're going to reveal that, like, I guess later this year, but not at E3. The new Zelda game for Wii U, which everyone's been crazy about and hyping up, for a while, but we don't know too much about it, other than it's supposedly a very different Zelda game. It's, from what we've heard and seen and how long they've been developing, it looks like it's going to be more open worldy, like something out of like Skyrim or, but any of the Bethesda series, like Fallout and Elder Scrolls and all that stuff. So we can hope that it's more like that. That's what I'm hoping for, personally. I'm hoping that they'll just be like, okay, look, open world, massive open world, do what you want, all the dungeons, they're just around and you just do them and it's cool. That's what I want. But that's beyond the point of what I was going to make at this point, which is, it got delayed again. They first talked about it, I think they first talked about it in 2014. And then they were like, okay, now it's pushed back. We're pushing it back to again. And then last year they were like, okay, we're pushing it back to 2016. And now it's pushed back to 2017. It's going to come out on the NX and the Wii U. And guess what's happening at E3? Because, I did a video a long time ago. I don't remember. I think it might have been one with Justin. I talked a little bit about it. But about the E3 stuff that they announced last year. And how I wasn't really impressed at all with it. Because by far the biggest thing they had was Smash Bros. Stuff. But they did that like the day before their presentation. So it's like, why did you just remove the best parts and then not really announce anything else good? That's really weird. And I don't get it. But the thing here is that this new Zelda game is going to be the only playable game that Nintendo brings to E3, and supposedly the only game that they will talk about and do stuff. Whereas apparently their normal Nintendo Direct is going to be replaced by a day-long Nintendo Treehouse, as they call it, which is just them with people playing games, talking about this new Zelda game. So that'll be interesting. I'm really interested to see about it, but at the same time, it's like, are you sure this is the best idea, Nintendo? I don't know, but we can always hope for the best. So I'm hoping that it's good. I'm hoping that this new Zelda is really enjoyable and fun, and everyone raves about it, and there's no like, oh, it's not good like Skyward Sword. Because I guess I'm very much the opposite of some things like that. Like, Skyward Sword I loved. I thought Skyward Sword was a solid game, that it was really fun, didn't have any motion control problems. That's really weird, isn't it? Because, like, it seems like there's 50% of people that are like, oh, Skyward Sword sucks, it has motion controls. And then there's, like, 50% of people that say, like, I never had any problems with the motion controls whatsoever. And, like, but everyone who hasn't had that problem with motion controls, like, there's like no way for them to figure out what exactly it means when people say that the motion controls don't work. Because, like, for me, it's like, well, they work just fine, and I liked it. I probably liked it more than a traditional Zelda game because, it feels a little bit more unique that you're moving the sword. That's beyond the point. Basically, my point was E3 and Nintendo and everything is just being really weird. So we can always hope for some surprise announcements, maybe. And I think I don't remember when it's supposed to be. I think it's sometime in June. I think maybe in July. I'm not sure, but we're supposed to get something about a new Sonic game. I'm assuming, because a while ago they did a panel that was like the history of Sonic the Hedgehog, and it was kind of rushed because they didn't have the most time in the world. So they're like, okay, well, we'll just get through it. And at the end, they were like, okay, well, if you're looking for any game announcements, maybe come here to this event. And I don't remember when it was for, but there's an event where they're going to announce a new Sonic game, so that'll be coming up soon. But in addition to talking about new games, that brings us to kind of, I guess, the third act of this video. The first act was talking about a couple movies that I liked and disliked. The second act was me talking about Ninja Turtles, and Nintendo kind of transitioned into this upcoming point. There's been so many games announced and the dates and all this stuff, and it's blown my mind. Like, I have so much information now, so much to talk about, so we're just gonna hop right into it. First thing came out just the other day, Civilization 6. I think it's confirmed to be coming out in October? I can't remember. Yeah, I believe October. I could be wrong, but I believe it's October. You can look it up. It's easy to find. Just search Civilization 6, and you'll find the specific date. But I know, very, very professional of me to have the date actually in my detailed, like, almost page-long notes about Civilization 6 and how I'm going to talk about it. So, if you don't know, Civilization is a series made by Sid Meier originally. It's a turn-based strategy game where, as the game's motto is, you attempt to build an empire to stand the test of time. And you do that through building units, establishing cities, building units to take out other cities, and you can take over other cities and, like, you can burn them to the ground, or you can put them in, make them into puppet states, and, like, you can set up trade routes. It's all this cool stuff that I really like. And it's nice. I like it. I've loved Civ 5. I think I've put in about 90 hours, like 88 hours or something like that. Crazy. Not as crazy as some people that have like 5,000 hours in games, but by far the most hours I have in a game. Well, Civ 6, Civ 5 came out in 2010, I think. So it's been a while. So, hopes were high for this new title. So let us get right into the information here that you can see me shuffling through. Whoa. And I'm just going to tell you a bit about Civ 6 in case you haven't heard anything about it. Or maybe you're just interested in knowing what they've done differently. So, cities now physically expand, whereas before, you just made a unit called the Settler, and then you just move it where you want to make a city. You hit make a city, and then that one block where it was at becomes the city, and then its borders expand out from that over time as the population grows. In Civ 6, that's gone. Cities now have different districts, and they move and they build out. Cities will now take up multiple spaces, and that really seems interesting and tactical. No one really knows how this is going to be applied yet, but I think it's safe to assume that that'll make it more interesting to capture cities, because, like, what if you were able to, like, just come in and destroy a certain part, you know what I mean? And just take over part of the city. So things like that. It's interesting to me. Research now, apparently you can unlock boosts that speed progress. Use units to explore, develop, and discover new cultures. So what I'm assuming this means is that by playing the game, by doing new things, you'll be able to get research faster. So by exploring and finding new people and doing all this stuff, you'll be able to research new technologies even faster and get more stuff. Dynamic diplomacy. Interactions with other civilizations change over the course of the game, from primitive first interactions where conflict is a fact of life, to late game alliances and negotiations. So basically, what that means is, you can pretty much get it. It's, the characters, the AI, and just the way that you interact with the AI in civilizations, they will hear, not really, to my understanding, what this means is that you'll be able to take, like, if you fight someone in the beginning of the game, they won't hate you for the rest of the game, because at the beginning of the game, you need it to do it to survive. So, like, when if there's hostility early on, later on, you can still make a pact, and the AI won't be like, oh, well, no, you hated us. 1,000 years ago, so we still hate you. No, that's not going to be the case anymore, and I love that. That's great. Combined arms is the next thing they added, which basically you could only have one unit on a tile. Now, you can put 2 units of the same type on a tile, and then make it into a special type of unit that will be... It's slightly stronger than having... There's slight advantages and drawbacks of doing it. I can't remember specifically what they are, but it makes you a little bit more powerful, and basically looks like a good way to just be able to take over and, you know, move out and have stronger units. Multiplayer is supposed to be better. Of course, if there is pretty much no way that they wouldn't have added that little part in there. Enhanced multiplayer. And of course, a Civ for all players is the last part that they advertise here. Civilization 6 provides veteran players new ways to build and tune their civilization for the greatest chance of success, and it also has new tutorial systems for those new players who want to know the underlying concepts. So basically, Civ 6 looks pretty good. Graphics are a little bit more... They're a little bit less realistic than what people are used to. And I've just seen, like, people are for it, people are against it. Oh, I'm for it. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm pretty excited for Civ 6 to come out. The next game that we have to talk about here is Pokemon Sun and Moon. My childhood, my heart, my soul, Pokemon. A new game has graced us this day. A whole new game. A whole new world. But basically, we finally got some information that we've been waiting for a long time. The new region is called Alola, which is kind of like Aloha. It looks like Aloha. The first screenshot we see is the player being welcomed to paradise. And it seems to be based around Hawaii very clearly. It looks very tropical and nice. And it just, oh man, it got those feelings going in me. It got me going. I just get so jazzed for a new Pokemon game. I love Pokemon. It gets me inside. It makes me happy. It makes me want to go on an adventure with Pokemon. Just do it again. That's how I feel about Pokemon, really. Like, you just kind of do it, and then you enjoy it, and then you don't pick up a Pokemon game for like 6 months, and then you just pick up another one when the new game comes out, and you're like, whoa! But we also learned about the new starters for this region as well. I love my transitions. Aren't they the best? Rowlet, Litten, and Puplio. So, Litten is a fire kitten. Rowlet is a grass-flying owl. And Puplio is a water-type seal that kind of looks a little bit like a clown. He has like a ball on its nose. It's a little bit weird, but it's a little bit cool too. I like him. I'm excited. More details on Pokemon as more details on Pokemon come out. But which one do I like? Which one do you like? Well, leave that in the comments below and debate which Rowlet, Puplio, or Litten is your favorite starter and the one that you're going to pick when you play Pokemon Sun and Moon. Personally, I'm a big Rowlet flan. I'm a big Rowlet flan. And I'm considering going Rowlet on this one. And that'll be out in November. So, that's about all we have for this video today. This week, I hope you enjoyed the return of the SPINOUS Special. But there is one more segment that I wanted to put in. One more little bit that I thought would just be a unique touch to add, and that is what I'm calling, it's a very creative title, it took me a long time to come up with this, it's called Video of the Week. I'm going to give you a video to watch, and I'm going to say, hey, this is my video that I suggest to you, the viewer, if you haven't seen it yet. This week, we're talking about the Game Grumps. Prepare for a wild ride when the Game Grumps do the most extreme thing you've ever seen in your entire life. They made an extreme video of the most extreme activity. They go to a petting zoo. So you can check that out. There's a link in the description right now. You can check it out right when the video ends, and you can have a good time. So I hope you enjoy that video, and yeah. I just like sharing videos out, you know, because there's a lot of good videos out there. So I thought, well, I mean, I can share like one video every week and be like, this is a cool video I saw this week. Enjoy it, population. That was such a weird use of population. But yeah. Link is in the description for Game Grumps Go to the Petting Zoo. And yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. More videos will continue to come out for the rest of time. Videos are back, and hopefully, I mean, it's really dependent on how you feel about it, better than ever. So, I have the secret announcement here. A secret announcement. We're going to film some stuff, Sam and I. We're going to have some cool, happy filming time. And it's going to be good because it's always good to film stuff, and we only do basically one filming session a month these days, which as we get into summer becomes, you know, more times and more fun and more videos. Sam has some great videos planned for you, and they're gonna be great. You can check that out. Sam channel, boom, blam, bloom, blam. Not gonna put a link in the description because you can just go and you can just find it really easily, and you know where to find it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will continue to enjoy videos. I will see you guys next week. Probably before that, because videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. SPINOUS SPECIAL! SPINOUS SPECIAL. It's the show where we do stuff. Alright, that's enough. That's enough singing for one video. I'm done. Okay, goodbye.